Well, my friend, welcome to 2024. I've got a question for you. Do you typically make New Year's resolutions or at least goals for your business for the new year? If so, you are like so many others. And did you know that most creatives fail to hit their goals? And I want to share with you how you can prevent that from becoming you. So listen in and let's get excited about the new year. Hello, my creative friend. Welcome to Creatives on Fire. Are you oh so tired of the constant struggle to keep up on social media? Do you wish you had more time freedom to actually be creative? Well, listen, I'm Melanie Ferguson, a creative business coach and multi six-figure online creative business owner who's made so many mistakes growing my blog and social media to hundreds of thousands of followers, only to look up and have very little to show for it. Once I put my head down and added a few key systems and strategies, everything changed for me. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my proven systems and shortcuts, turning those followers into paying customers. So if you're ready, let's take your online business to the next level and leave all the overwhelm behind. Hey, Melanie Ferguson here. I have created a content planner for creatives that's unique to content creators. It's a 52-week planning guide and calendar designed to help you manage your time, help you stay organized, consistent, and really just know what to do and when. From planning your content to making sure you're on track every single week, this planner allows you to focus on what matters most for your business. So if you're looking for a way to keep all of your things organized, be able to be ahead of the game and know exactly what to do and when, check it out at creativesonfirepodcast.com/planner. That's creativesonfirepodcast.com/planner. Do you have resolutions and goals for 2024 that you are just super excited about and cannot wait to see what the year unfolds? Well, listen, my friend, you are not alone. So many of us start out so super pumped and excited about, all of our plans to just you know, blow it out of the park, blow up our businesses. Um, and then reality hits in. It can hit in like after the first week. I know that when it comes to like the gym, you see the gym just absolutely crowded and flooded with people in January. By February, it's a ghost town. I mean, it is a ghost town. And sometimes as creatives, we run into this situation when it comes to our goals. And there's a couple of reasons why. And I want to kind of hit on those real quick before I give you some really solid solutions. Today, we're going to talk about how you can create routines, remove barriers, and utilize the rule of power hours, all in order to help us hit our goals. So, let me tell you a little bit about maybe some reasons why, as creatives, we struggle with this so much. And let me know if it resonates with you, if this happens to you as well. So, I know that I struggle with perfectionism. So I have that mentality of, it has to be just right, just perfect. And if I mess up at all, then forget it. I'm going to quit. So I have that all or nothing perfectionism attitude. It's just I'm all in or I'm not doing it at all. And so I don't know about you, but I've started several times doing things like I'm going to drink, however much water every day. And I'll hit a couple days where I miss the mark. And then I'm like, yeah, forget that. I'm just not even going to worry about that anymore. And all of a sudden, I haven't drank in my water. I've given up on my goal and I'm right back to square one. And it's super self-defeating. So maybe this is you. But don't worry, my friend, we're going to have some solutions to this. As creatives, we also struggle with this non-linear thinking problem, which what I mean by that is we have the squirrel syndrome. We have the shiny object syndrome. It's non-linear. We don't stay in a straight line. We don't keep our blinders on. We are just naturally gifted at seeing things for the excitement that they bring. And so therefore, we're all over the place. We're all over the place. And it makes it really, really hard to focus and really get good at what it is we need to be doing. And last but not least, as creatives, we often struggle with just a simple lack of structure. It's really hard for us um, to again stay focused with a plan. And my friend, we are going to fix all of that. Um, I also want to invite you, if you have not checked out the Creatives on Fire planner that I've put together, that is a great place to start for getting that much needed structure and plan in place for you to hit these goals and resolutions for 2024. All right, let's dive into it. Okay, the first step for you to not become one of the statistics of the creatives who do not hit their goals is a routine. You may be saying, oh, routine, schmoutine, I don't need that. I've had that. It doesn't work for me. Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to give you some secrets for routines. Routines can help you manage your mental energy. I don't know about you, but I am always struggling with mental energy. I'm really gung ho for a minute and then I'm off in another place. I'm distracted mentally. Or I stay focused, and then I'm completely drained. I have no more mental energy. I can't even decide what we're going to have for dinner. I just don't have it in me. Routines that are put into place in specific parts of the day in these little pockets where you have a routine are going to set you up for success, my friend. You are going to be able to have plenty of mental energy left over for your family, yourself, and things that are super important to you outside of work. Routines create room for creativity. So if you are struggling with, coming up with new ideas, if you're struggling with, oh, at the end of the day, I have nothing left. I cannot even squeak out one simple idea for a project, idea for a video. Um, a routine, having small routines in place are going to help you combat this and help you be able to be more creative. Routines establish consistency. They establish a consistency that you desperately need in your business. All right. So I want you to start small with these routines. It can be as simple as the second you wake up, what is it that you're going to do? Are you going to drink that bottle of water the second you get up before you do any single thing else? And that becomes your routine. And then you don't even have to think about it. You may not hit your exact water goal every single day, but at least that routine in the morning of drinking that bottle of water before any single thing else is going to keep you in on track. You are going to make progress bit by bit, small step by small step. So think about what routines you need to put into place in order to hit the goals that you have set up for you and your life. All right, we're going to remove barriers. This is super duper important. We want to break down one of the barriers I know I struggle with is overwhelm, and a lot of creatives struggle with overwhelm. And what you want to do is break down those big ideas, those big goals, those huge things that we want to accomplish this year, and make them into bite-sized, small things. So, in order to reduce the barrier of overwhelm, we just want to make it simple. Start with the first blog post. Start with the first project. Start with the first video, that first piece of content. What do you want to put out that first week? We're in the first week. So, what do you want to put out this week? All right. So, break things down into really tiny, small, bite sized, attainable pieces. And that's going to also encourage you as you hit those. The second removal of barriers I want you to think about is growth. A lot of times as creatives, we don't set aside time to actually grow ourselves. And honestly, our business will only grow as much as we do. So if we set apart time to grow ourselves, now that might look like something different for everyone. For me, for this year, it's going to be getting back into reading. I read and read and read for years when I was in my other businesses. And it was second nature. It was a routine. I would read at least 20 minutes a day. It didn't matter what part of the day, what time of day. And if I didn't have time, I would do an Audible book for 20 minutes in the car. I was a lot more mobile than I am today. So I had to utilize Audible. But for you, you might be able to sit down with a book that is going to grow you each and every day. If you want to go along this journey with me, I plan on reading a book every single month of the year this year. Some people are doing even bigger goals like reading a book a week. But for me, I'm going to read a book every single month. I'm going to weave that in and make it on purpose. So this is what you want to do to grow yourself. Now, you might also dive into a conference. I told you a couple of episodes back. If you didn't get a chance to tune in, be sure to look at the episode on um, I think it was hacks on, or yes, hacks for 2024. And that was episode 122, I believe. So you can actually dive in on putting those on your planner ahead of time. And you may not know the exact dates yet for the conferences that you want to attend, but just put in like the month. Oh, I know for October, I'm going to attend the Achieve conference. Maybe in July, you're going to Haven. So just making yourself aware of the things that you're going to do to grow yourself this year is going to be huge. All right, the last tip I have for you to remove barriers is physical. So I know we talked about um, mental barriers, reducing the overwhelm. We've talked about growing yourself as a barrier. You can only grow as your business can only grow as much as you grow yourself. And then there's physical barriers. And these are the nitty gritty. This is where you may need to get organized. You may need to create a workspace in which you can actually get work done. You may need to figure out a way to remove distractions. I know for me recording this podcast, this may sound super simple, but my dog will sit in the room here with me and bark if she sees anything outside the window. So for me to remove distractions, I have to know part of my routine is to get her out of the room when I record this podcast, right? I also, for to remove distractions, have to have my husband not present because we both work from home. And when he's here and I'm trying to record a podcast, it's super duper distracting for me mentally. So I physically have to have him removed from the place. The other distractions could be simple as maybe you're homeschooling and your kids are home and you need to do certain things at certain times. Make sure you have all of that set up and you have removed all of your barriers. And then this is kind of a personal one. So for me, getting in the routine of doing the treadmill every single morning was super difficult for me to get through. So I knew that some of the things that I would tell myself, I didn't feel like tying my shoes. You guys, I didn't feel like tying shoelaces. So I went and bought slip on tennis shoes, right? And then I was like, well, I don't feel like getting all the way ready in workout clothes to do that and then have to change to go do other stuff. So, you know what I do? I put some slip on tennis shoes right next to the treadmill. Do not laugh. And then whoa, treadmill in the morning. It is removing all barriers. I've told myself, just get it done. Done is better than perfect. So I'll slip off my slippers and slip on my tennis shoes and hop on that treadmill and slip right back into my slippers, my friend. And then it actually helps me get it done because that was one of my biggest barriers was putting on the tennis shoes. So I don't know what your barrier is, but make sure that you take care of that for getting into a routine that you can stand by. And another thing that you might have to do for physical is join a support group, a group of people who are going to stand by you and help you through the process of hitting these goals and meeting these routines and removing these barriers. Okay. I am partial. I have the perfect support group. It's our Fuel Mastermind. If you are interested in learning more about that, definitely apply. It is creativesonfirepodcast.com/fuel if you are interested in learning more about our mastermind. Okay, last but not least, I want to talk about this rule of power hours. Have you heard of a power hour? Do you know what it is? It's a really, really amazingly powerful, no pun intended, power hour where you simply focus for one solid hour on exactly the step that you need to take in order to get to the next level in your business. So I try to, at the beginning of the year, pick out the top 2 to 3 things that I know I'm going to be pursuing throughout the year to make money. Because if you are not making money, you are not in business, my friend. So, what are the things that you are going to focus on that are going to make you direct money? Then I want you to do the reducing the overwhelm by breaking that down into simple steps that you need to take each week in order to see that happen. So you have taken time, figured out, you've done the not girl math, but the backwards out math to figure out how many steps you need to take, what you need to do, how many people you need in your atmosphere, in your audience to make your goals happen. And you have figured out what you need to be doing each day. And then I want that to be your power hour. So if you are following along with us in your Creatives on Podcast Planner, you know that at the very beginning of the planner, I have this page called Big Goals. And I have a space in there for you to put your goal and then your monthly progress. I have a space for you to have up to 4 goals, okay? And there's a purpose and a reason behind that. I know a lot of times we're like, oh, I want all of these goals and I want all those goals. And it becomes too many for us to actually be successful with. So I want you to narrow it down to your top 4 goals, the most important things that you'd like to see happen for 2024. And I want you to pick power hours throughout your day. So if you go to the weekly sections, you will see hour by hour spots. I want you to pick a power hour for each goal. So I also encouraged you to grab the colored pens that were erasable that are perfect for this planner. And if you've done like me, then you've made each goal a different color. And that's going to make it super easy when you go into the weekly steps and the hours and put in your power hours. So your power hour might be from 7 to 8, you're going to work on your blog. Okay, whatever that looks like, whatever that is. Maybe your second power hour is a goal related to your social media. And maybe from 10 to 11 a.m. is a power hour specifically dedicated to growing your audience by doing live video. What this is going to do is shrink it down to the simple. I want this to be super simple for you to follow and to keep your routine in place. As creatives, we have that nonlinear thinking issue and we are all over the place. I want you to keep your power hours at a minimum. So if you, and it just depends on how quickly you want to hit your goals. If you want to hit your goals super duper fast, you're going to put a power hour in for every single one of these goals every single day. Okay. If you have 4 goals, you're going to have 4 power hours. All right. If you are on a slower pace or you're in a different season, we talked about seasons in our businesses the last week on the episode 123 of the podcast. Go back and listen to it. But we talked about if you're not in a season that allows you the freedom to do certain things, then you might need to take it a little bit slower. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only way you can lose is if you quit. If you are moving the needle each and every week, even a tiny bit, then you are winning, my friend. So you might want to take a power hour each day, or maybe even you are only able to do a power hour each week. I don't know. I don't know what yours looks like. You might have a power hour each week, and that gets you forward every month because you've spent an hour on each goal once a week for the month, if that makes sense. Or you might do a power hour, like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and not be able to do one on Friday. The rest of your day that is not filled with your power hours is your time. That is your time to do the things that maybe aren't as important to your primary goal. Maybe you need to check your email. Maybe you need to set up for tomorrow's projects. Maybe you need to do some research on social media. And quite honestly, that takes time. And these are things that are important, but they aren't the move the needle important. Okay. Move the needle important. I'm talking about, is it write a blog post? Is it record a podcast? Is it create a module in your new course? Is it working on an event that you are using to create income? Is it, and I don't think even just little things like, you know, shipping out products that have already been purchased. Those are things that can be leveraged out. These are just things that only you can do. These are your power hours alone. All right. I want you to consider leveraging the morning hours for these power hours. I know a lot of you are going to tell me, but Melanie, I'm not a morning person. I get it. I get it. So let's try to get the power hours all completed before 3. How about that? By 3 p.m., I want all your power hours completed because, quite honestly, excuses happen later in the day. Ask me how I know. Excuses happen later in the day. It can be, well, they're not answering now because I think their kids are out of school after 3. Or, oh, I couldn't reach them because they were already off for the day. Or I don't have as much mental energy after 4 because I've had lunch and I had a sugar treat at 3. I mean, you get all sorts of excuses coming up in the afternoon. So I'd like you to get to leverage the power of morning time for these power hours. It doesn't have to be 4 in the morning, my friend. It could be 10. It could be 1. I just want you to pick a time before 3 that you can complete your powers. All right. And this is going to help you open up your day to whatever opportunities that it presents itself, right? You will have your, the trouble, the trouble, the issues will come regardless, but I want you to protect your power hours so that that part of your business is done and the rest will take care of itself. You may end up working till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, maybe into the wee hours on other things. But these power hours are what is going to keep you from becoming a statistic of another creative who does not reach their goals or their New Year's resolutions, my friend. So I hope this is helpful. I want you to really dig into these 3 concepts of getting a routine in place, removing all your barriers, and the rule of power hours so that you can look up at the end of 2024 and know that you killed it with your goals. And if you want help along this journey, be sure that you've grabbed your planner. Every single week, there's a QR code in there for us to have this time together to chat, work on our mindset, and know that we know what we need to be working on this week in order to be successful. I want to provide you with the encouragement that you need to have this happen without you having those distractions that we have as creatives. You can go to creativesonfirepodcast.com/planner. And if you are ready for the next level and you want to join us in the mastermind, you can apply at creativesonfirepodcast.com/fuel. All right, my friend, until next time, stay creative and Happy New Year. Thank you so much, my friend, for tuning in each and every week. If you learned something new or were inspired from today's episode, I would be incredibly grateful if you would take a minute and just leave a review. Bonus points if you share this episode by screenshotting it and tagging me on social at Creatives on Fire Podcast. I'll share you in my stories when you do. In the meantime, keep rocking your business and don't forget, no one else will ever be you. And that is your creative superpower.